Welcome, people, to the Ask Domnat show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern time. My name is Dominique Pereira, but you might know me as Ask Domnat. And of course, as always, this is the fastest 30 minutes of your day to make you an overall more informed person. So, guys, welcome in. You guys are now really supporting the channel. You're supporting the chats. Let me know where you guys are watching from. It seems like you guys are liking some of these updates on what's going on in the global stage. So without fail, I know we just had the show on Wednesday, but today we have more updates. So what is going on? It's happy Friday to you guys. So what's going on today, Friday, March 4th, or I'm sorry, March 13th. Let's go through this rundown. Tap in with me. March 13th, we got an amazing show. Actually, I'm seeing something that's missing here, so I'm going to go over it. But okay, the first one is Israel attacked by Iran and Lebanon. Now, here's what's going on. There is an information blackout coming out of this war. This is day 14, I believe, of the war. So Israel and Lebanon were obviously, I'm sorry, Iran and Lebanon were attacked by Israel, and they have been retaliating. You may not be seeing it. I watch so much of this stuff that I go out and I look for all the news that I can get to give to you guys. 4 more Americans, unfortunately, perished in a plane crash. They're saying it's not combat related, but a plane crash. And then I have some news about the new Iranian supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, also as the last one. And lastly, it's not on here. Let's see. Okay, there it goes. Now, I am selling my farm fresh eggs, guys. So the season, you guys know, I don't know what the astrologists or meteorologists are saying, but to me, it's spring. It did snow yesterday, though, but it's spring, and springtime means freaking farm time. So I am now selling my eggs. The chickens are producing, the hens are laying the eggs. I've just been getting an abundance of eggs. And not only am I selling the eggs, I want to go over with you guys how I'm getting grant money to set up my egg production here at the farm. I'm looking to get $30,000. It seems like the government has a lot of money, so I'm trying to get me a piece of that. So I'm trying to get $30,000 for my egg project here at the farm. And I want to show you guys how I'm trying to do that, how I will be getting that money, how we're moving forward with the farm project and this egg production. Now, as always, because I only have so much time with you guys, I'm going to be touching on a lot of this stuff from Israel and Iran to the farm and the eggs, and how you can be getting extra money, how you can start your farm and your ventures if you want to, because the ethos of this show is how do you better yourself, right? But I can't do that in 30 minutes. So as always, as our new procedure, we are now on the second half of the show is in our all access community. You just have to get the link. We're going to throw a link down here. It's free for the first 100 users. We're going to be diving deeper. I'm actually going to go over with you guys the grant that I'm actually filling out for this $30,000, and we're going to make sure we put up the link, but it's going to be Ask Domnat, askdomnat.com/live, askdomnat.com/live. The second half of the show, I want to see you guys in the community so we can dive even deeper into what some of these things mean for you. So let's go into it. Israel attacked by Iran and Lebanon. So what's going on, guys? And I'm not going to harp on these topics today because this war might just be a war of attrition. But what's going on with that is what you've been seeing, and I want to share a video really quick by the Majority Report and Sam Cedar over there. Let me share my screen. And ultimately, these guys in the Iranian army, military, they've been preparing for this for the last 70 years. All right, guys. You and me have not thought about Iran very much every once in a while, but I think the average American, here's two questions that I got that I want to answer for you guys on this live. It's how does the oil prices, we keep talking about oil prices, how does it affect everything else, right? Like in our daily lives, how come everything else is going to go up? And then the other question was, how come it's been so difficult to win this war when there's such a small country? Iran, relative to the United States, we just seem bigger, better, more capable. Why can't we just squash them, so to speak? So I want to answer those questions. But before I do answer those questions, I want to share this video with the general in the Iranian National Guard, and I want to share it with you guys so that you guys can start seeing what they're thinking about. Here, let me play.
In that latest interview I did on the 5th day, I said we've passed the peak and we're heading down.
Let's hear it.
Now is our downhill phase. You saw what happened just last night in Tel Aviv. This was a day ago. Meaning because we hit the radars and the infrastructure today, truly Mr. Trump and Netanyahu are trapped in a slaughterhouse in the Persian Gulf. And in the coming days and weeks, much more joyful news will be delivered to the dear nation of Iran. Look, the big mistake they made was that they came and designed a short-term war, but they didn't realize this might turn into a long-term one. Even the greatest international powers, if they initially plan for a short-term war and halfway through it, it becomes a long-term war, no matter how much power they have, they will be defeated. Why? Okay. Because short-term wars have a specific design. They require limited logistics and limited preparations. A long-term war requires abundant logistics, extensive planning, and they have to anticipate many consequences.
What? Okay.
They thought the Islamic Republic would be finished in 48 hours. First, they brought one aircraft carrier. Then recently they said, for precaution, let's bring another ship.
Now with the Lincoln.
But now they're saying we must bring in whatever ships we have from anywhere in the world, so maybe we can handle this.
Okay.
Take the USS Ford that has now come towards the Mediterranean. It's currently their time for leave. There are 5,000 to 6,000 personnel saying, we need to go on leave.
Yep.
How do you know? Because during their time in Venezuela, their mission there had ended. They were told, you will go for 48 hours and come back. Furthermore, these ships usually need maintenance every 6 months. They need to be resupplied with ammunition and many other things need to be done.
Seems like he's knowing.
They came for 48 hours. Now, if they want to stay for long term, from the fatigue of the forces to the shortage of ammunition, they will be burdened with other problems. Secondly, they didn't think the war would become long term. They didn't think, for example, the price of oil would go from $80. It has already gone up to 110. We should expect 120 and 150 oil in the coming days. We're getting close to 150? Yes, he says.
Okay.
Well, what does this mean? It means the entire global economy will collapse. If the global economy collapses, then the world will the world allow Trump to continue his warmongering?
Whoa.
Or will the countries of the region allow him to continue his warmongering? There it is. Okay. We'll be able to make an assessment as to just how much.
Okay. Guys, if you watched that, thank you for and Don, welcome to the show, baby. Appreciate the support. Now, if you watch that did not seem like a ludicrous, tyrannical general that was just spewing nonsense. That seemed like a really well-calculated thought saying, hey, these guys only have so many war carriers and they need rest. They're going to be overextended. They only plan for 48 hours. So as long as hey, Derek, welcome to the show. Of course I know Mr. Good. Welcome. No, Derek Good. Frankfurt, good old days. Welcome. We got to have you out. Derek, stay to the end. I got to have you out at the farm. As a matter of fact, I want to announce something for the farm that I'm thinking about, which is so crazy. And I'm actually going to get your thoughts. But so here's the thing about the Iranian conflict. And one thing I'm going to tell you, Iran doesn't have problems with black people. So if you look at the history of Iran and how they let the black people go during the Iranian hostage crisis back in 79, and they were like, hey, black people have been through enough in America. We don't want to put more strife on y'all. Y'all are good to leave. Blacks and women, we don't want to keep y'all as hostages. America, you don't even have to give us anything for them. I'm like, appreciate y'all. So now from that lens, it's like these guys are kind of calculated. And what they're saying is, we know that you guys are going to get tired. You only plan for a short-term war. We now just have to extend this out. And Israel and Iran, or the United States, thought, well, these guys are dumb. They don't plan for anything. But guys, let me show a video of before the war started. I'm going to just show my screen again. Look at the tunnels that Iran planned. look at this. This is when the United States are saying, "Hey, we depleted their military. We broke everything that they got." They designed their boats small enough to fit in bunkers, right? And then one thing I noticed while watching this, look at these pictures that are in between these boats, right? So I don't know if they're assigning boats to people so everybody just knows who your boat is. I don't know if these are martyrs and people are like, remember our fallen brothers. These are little torpedoes and missiles that are coming out. Now, this takes planning and preparation. They've been waiting for this. You don't put boats in tunnels to just not expect to use it. And recently they used them. This was a ship here recently in the port of Iraq, coming through the Strait of Hormuz, an American ship that, remember, what did I tell you last week? Trump told them, show some guts, go through. They blew them up. They blew them up, guys. Don't be playing with these people, right? Like people who have been prepping. These guys here are Thai. These are the Thai ships. They got blown up too. So now, what did I want to tell you? Israel, what's going on with Israel? You're not going to see this on the general internet. Israel is getting bombed. This here is, I believe, Impact out of Tel Aviv. Israel is saying you cannot start posting videos of these bombings anymore. Guys, I'm obviously here in the United States, so hopefully I have some sort of journalistic freedom. But look at these explosions going on. I'm just going to be playing them in the background. And why does Israel not want you to see what's going on? Well, because the reality is that once people start seeing, well, we're not winning this war as easily as we thought. These guys aren't savages that we thought they were, or idiots or brutes. As a matter of fact, the new Ayatollah got a lot of people that you watch out of the Iranian army studied at the universities in Britain, in the United States. They speak fluent English. Iran has a plethora of doctors. You can't even convert Iranian currency to American currency. They have $0 value. Why is that important? That's important because they figured out how to circumvent the American economy. I've told you that the Strait of Hormuz has been closed, right, from Iran, and they have blown up 3 ships. So let me show you another. This is out of let me start.
Iran, they don't have any more missile capabilities. This is what Iran said.
Yeah. So this is after we said that they blew up all their missiles, and Iran was like, "No, we've been preparing for this." And Lebanon, Israel attacked Lebanon. So this is what was going on in Israel 2 days ago. Right? And obviously you're hearing the Arabic, so you guys aren't worried about the Israelis. If you're not seeing this in your feed, it's because it's being suppressed. I go out and I look. Now, and I was confirming that this is not AI. This is not AI from what I've been told. All right. Just crazy. Now you're asking yourself, how come it's much worse now than it was a couple days ago? Right? Why is this much worse now than it was a couple days ago? Well, this is why you watch the Ask Dom Nash show. I'm telling you that I'm doing the investigation so you don't have to. Well, we watched the first interview where the guy was saying, well, the first missiles that we used was to take out their infrared systems, their radar systems, and now we're using our old missiles. Remember last show or 2 shows ago, I told you Iran was saying that they're using their old missiles. Now they're going to start using their new stuff. And I told you, I don't know if they're telling the truth. I don't know that I believe them, because why wouldn't you just go for, bank at the beginning? But they might have been telling the truth. Why? Because you saw how those planes were just landing. The United States now deployed the 3rd U.S. carrier. Now they're also getting what's called Patriot batteries out of South Korea. Remember, South Korea is always in defense from North Korea. United States is having to re-up from South Korea, sending it to Israel to protect, because they're saying we don't have enough missile capabilities there, because Iran is now launching. Remember, the they were launching the Shahed drones. If you've been keeping up, those are the white ones. They came out with a new. I'm gonna just play these. Hadid 110 drones. They're smaller, faster, and you see the design. They're stealth. These are now stealth drones, so they're presumably longer range. They're smaller payloads, but they have a couple new capabilities, guys. The capability one is that it's stealth, so they're harder to detect on radars, and the radars have been depleted. They're a little bit more expensive, so that's why they probably don't want to launch them as fast, as early. They're smaller, so that they have a rocket propelled launcher at the bottom here, as you can see at the bottom. That's an ignition lighter, sends it up. But what does it have? It has loitering and AI capabilities. From what we've been seeing, loitering capabilities mean that it doesn't travel in a straight line anymore, guys. These drones are now traveling, and they're just hovering around the area waiting for the other drones to come. So this isn't like a missile. Iran isn't firing. They're firing some, ballistic missiles, but they're firing these drones. Why? Because they're just now, hey, they're not, these don't swarm. So you don't send 100 of them out at one time. You send 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you're sending those, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hitting, and that's easier to knock down because you're just targeting at one, this one goes and then it waits. It waits for the other 10 to get in the air, and then they spread out, and then they attack. They spread out, they attack at one point. It's a smart AI capability that they haven't deployed before. So I'm like, whoa, I think they may have now been proven right that they still have more new weapons. This other one, the Shahed 101, they found an even cheaper drone to throw out there. This one, the other Shahed drone was $35,000. This one looks like a propelled rocket drone, and this is an electric propeller. It's not a solid or liquid core propeller. It's an electric propeller. Why is that important? It doesn't go very fast. It doesn't, but it does have some good distance. It can still hit Israel. But more importantly, because it's electric, it's not very hot. The heat thermal signal makes it difficult to detect. And it's $10,000. You can launch this off of the back of a truck. You can whatever. It's $10,000. It still has loitering capabilities. It's not a missile. It's a drone, so it doesn't fly in a straight line. Makes it hard to hit, and it has loiter. And then that front propeller. What does that front propeller do? That's what makes it allowed to move around, right? The fixed wing design allows it to stay low. Why? Because the THAAD, the first layer of the Israeli defense, THAAD, that is thermal, high altitude aerial defense. These Shahed 101, low heat signal, so there is no thermal signature. It's a low thermal signature, and it flies low, so it's not high altitude. Guys, things are just crazy here. So when you're now talking to people and they're like, oh, Iran doesn't have any more, now you're more educated that they do have the Shahed 101 and the other one, which is the the Hadid 110 that have been deployed. So many things going on. If you look at some of these videos, Israel's getting just pummeled in some cases. Now, here's what I am also going to say is that Iran is getting hit. Iran is getting bombarded. Iran is getting completely destroyed. I don't have the video here, but maybe I'll focus on it on the next show, where the United States did drop what's considered a Moab, I think was it 47, but it's a Moab bomb. When I think they dropped a Moab 43B, which Moab stands for mother of all bombs. It is the deep penetrating bomb, the bunker busters. They did drop that yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm losing my days. The significance of that is that is the largest non-nuclear weapon that we have. It's about 30,000 pounds or something like that, or 30 tons, which is just a heavy ass bomb. And it's a bunker buster. Why do they need to start busting these bunkers? Well, we showed you where these tunnels are. But the problem with dropping that Moab is, where do you go from there? When you start dropping your largest stuff, now United States still has more, but when you start dropping your largest stuff, you're only escalating. And Iran is saying, we've been waiting for this. It's like fighting a crazy person, right? And you think you're just gonna beat them up, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this. Yeah. Then you start thinking, why did I get in this fight? And how do I get out? That's honestly what everybody's thinking. Because Trump's now been saying, oh, I think we're almost done. We're pretty, I think we won. That was his statement. We won. I think we're good. And they're like, no, more. Now, not to patronize any Iranian general or anything. But okay, cool. So unfortunately, what's next on the but in this waiting, unfortunately, we've had some more U.S. casualties. This is obviously just an AI generated picture. This is not the real picture of the plane crash. But we did have a plane crash over Iran. This is throw on my screen here, Iraq, not Iran. So this ship or this plane is based on the frame of a Boeing 747. So it's one of those bigger planes. And there's not only job that. So this is, I just wanted to kind of show you guys the plane. It's a refueling plane. While the jets are in the air, these jets don't land, right? And until they get back to base or back to the carrier. So they need to get refueled. And this is the refueling plane. And in the middle of Iraq is technically friendly airspace because Iraq is against Iran too. Just remember that. But there was we don't know much information yet of what caused the crash. I don't know if it was a jammer. It doesn't seem like it was a kinetic impact, meaning something hit the plane. But these planes are 60 years old as well. 60 years old. So they're not new planes. And that part of all of these missions, right? Part of all of that is stress on the equipment. I don't have a video of it, but the Gerald Ford, also the USS Gerald Ford, our newest and the biggest war carrier in the world right now, also caught fire. Right, there was a huge fire on the carrier, and part of that is, well, it was before in the Mediterranean, then it went to Venezuela, it docked in the Caribbean, and now it's back in the Red Sea. So these things, like the guy said, hey, we're just got to hang around because these things need maintenance about every 6 months. And they're due for maintenance. So they're going to start having their own problems. Literally a day or two after that, the Gerald Ford had a problem. This plane had a problem. So it's not like maybe we didn't plan for this all the way. Maybe. I don't know. The U.S., we can talk about it more, but now I think the total count is up to 12 U.S. service members, unfortunately, killed. There's just a lot of unfortunate deaths all around the world with regard to this war. But what I don't think is getting a lot of credence is the 150 service members that are wounded as well. So obviously there's 12. I think it's at 12 that have been reported deceased, but 150 that have been wounded, some in critical, some in less critical conditions. But people have to live with some of these injuries for the rest of their lives. So not great. And then you'll see, I think this is Donald Trump here. Or this is one of the ships that they attacked, right? When the president saying, hey, show some guts. And then this is one of the ships that they attacked. Let's see.
They've got no anti-air traffic, anything. They have no systems of control. We're just riding free range over that country. And now we're going to look very strongly at the Straits. The Straits are in great shape. We've knocked out all of their boats.
On Iranian state media today.
So yeah, knocked out all their boats. They were running free range. They have nothing, but things just keep blowing up. But now they're going to look at the Straits. So you guys, I tell you, make your own decision. I'm not here to influence your opinion. I'm here to tell you the truth, guys. All right. Like now, to talk about the Straits and talking about the new supreme leader, Khamenei. This is the guy. We have not seen him. We have not seen him since he's been I guess, appointed as the new supreme leader. Ayatollah Khamenei, Mujahid, I don't want to even butcher his name, but I gotta get better at saying it. But perhaps I have to get better at saying it. Here's why: since he's been appointed, he's made one statement, and I don't want to read the entire statement, but the gist of the statement is we're going to continue to. The only conditions, and he didn't even give conditions for negotiating. His the president of the country did. He said, "Hey, there's conditions for us to not continue this war, and that is literally the United States pay us back all the money that you guys have withheld with regards to what is it, sanctions, the damage that you've done to our country, remove your bases from Qatar, Oman, right? Like there was a huge fire out of Oman in the military, or I'm sorry, in the oil base in Oman. There's so many things going on, guys. I don't want to bombard you with all these videos. Maybe I'll show you guys in the next one. Oman is a country. It's only like 50 years old. This was the first time they've ever been attacked as a country. So they were like, we don't know what to do. People are saying, you know, was it Iran? Was it someone else? But everybody's freaking out. And this guy is basically in his letter saying this is going to continue. Here's the problem. And this segment is going to be quick because nobody has seen him. Nobody has really seen him. Nobody's seen him since the attack. He was in the same building when his father was killed, right? The previous Ayatollah, however many days that was, 14 days ago. Perhaps he was taking a bathroom break from the regime meeting, but he was said to have suffered injuries. But his father, mother, daughter, I don't know if he has sons. I don't remember reading about his sons, but presumably sons, his wife, everybody was killed in his family except for him. But what we've been hearing, some reports, is that he did get a leg injury and had to have his leg amputated. And it is being said as of today that he might be in a coma. He might be in a coma or dead. So I don't know why that would be the case and they wouldn't have just martyred him already. Or is this a play for, I mean, let me just play a little bit of chess here. You can't kill what's already dead, right? Like, so as long as they are saying that he is the supreme leader, then that's who the country is going to believe is the supreme leader. And that's who the orders are going to be coming from, even if it's coming from somebody else. But now that target is not on the somebody else, right? Like the targets, Israel's always going to have to be targeting this guy until they get undoubted confirmation that he's already dead. And there is not too many people in Iran who's going to be working with Israel to give them the true information. They don't have the CIA agents on the ground like they used to, so it's going to be hard to get that information. So perhaps they're already saying, hey, people have already bought into Khamenei, and we can just pass the message through him and still continue operating without Israel. Because also this might be another off-ramp if Israel and Trump say, oh yeah, we killed the son too, now we're really done, let's just move over. But from what been reported on the webs of internet is that he may not be in a conscious state, whatever that might mean. Now, lastly on this war, how does this all affect everything that you have going on, right? Like I drive a lot. And obviously whenever we're talking about gas, right? Like, why is gas so important? Why is gas so important? Well, not only when you drive, but you don't realize us as a country, us as a population, we are very, very, very used to comfort, meaning things come to us. So when we're talking about gas and the oil prices going up, it's not only the gas that you put in your car, because gasoline is only a byproduct. It's a petroleum byproduct, right, of oil. But what about the actual gas and oil? It's a low grade crude oil of the ships that are bringing your stuff from China to here. All right. So now the shipping cost from going from China to the United States, that's gone up. Right. Now now whenever you make everything that we make, everything that's plastic is made from oil. So oil, now you don't have the cost of the plastic's gone up, the cost of the shipping's gone up. When it comes to food, I try not to eat that nasty herbicide filled insecticide poisoning food. But sometimes I get lazy and go to the general grocery store because, oh gosh, I wish I had my plants. I started seeding. My beans are sprouting. Guys, if you're not planting beans, you have to plant them. Beans start sprouting in like 48 hours, guys. I was so excited. I had to bring them inside because it started snowing yesterday. But I planted some beans. I told y'all that I got all my seeds from, I'm going to give them another shout out, Southern Seed Exposure Conference, the Black Southern Seed Exposure. I just put the word black there. They are black. It's not in their title, but beautiful people. And I started planting my beans and my peppers and my tomatoes and all that. So hopefully those will be ready for when you guys come to the farm. But that's how all of this is affecting your prices of just things that have nothing to do with oil and driving, is because a lot of things that we use, everything from your herbicides to the shipping and logistics, anything made from plastic or everything, it has, how do you, like a lot of these manufacturing plants, right? Like if you're in Philly, you drive by 95, you see all those plants with the steam. We don't really know what they do inside, but it's just all the steam coming out. Those are all manufacturing plants ran from oil and petroleum. So whatever they're making, the price has to go up because their energy price has gone up. The United States did not have the strict, it's called an SPR. There's so many things that I wish I could talk to you guys on. So let me not get too carried away because we're going to go into the second hour of the show, not hour, second 30 minutes. But let me touch the SPR, Strategic Petroleum Reserve. But okay, so a couple of days ago, like I was telling you, I am selling my farm fresh eggs, guys. I mean, there's just so much that it's a Friday show, guys. All right. So here's what I'm going to happen on the second hour of the show. Oh, this is me here. Let's watch it. Okay, good. So these are some of the chickens here. These here are my egg layers. I got them with my ducks. I think these are like the Cecilink Reds or whatever. Yeah, I think we had already made one collection for the day. I try to just, let them be. But for some reason, they like that one. So every day we're getting some.
They really like that one.
Yeah, we're getting some cartons. And she's a fun one. But chickens are so. What are you gonna eat if the war comes? What are you gonna eat if the war comes, guys? I might gain weight. Hey, where's Betty? Hey, Betty. That's Betty right there. Okay, I'll let you go, Rebecca. Yeah. We got Jacob over there who's been giving me some trouble. Jacob, if the war comes, you're week 3. Jacob got 2 weeks left. But yeah, so I'm prepping myself, right? I do it because I love it. I legitimately like just farming. I legitimately like being with my animals. But we want to start a for the last year or 2, 3 years. I'm gonna call it 2.5 years. I've been doing this farm by myself, with myself, whatever. But now, as we're opening up today, actually, I've been missing some phone calls from the farm. Presumably, I think the chickens are getting there. We are producing. We're going to be getting how many eggs a day? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 10 to 15 cartons of eggs every day. Is what we're doing. So I can't eat that many eggs. Like, I mean, you look at me, guys. So I want to start selling those eggs. I want to start providing them to the community. 15 cartons of eggs a day. If you're interested, if you want to start getting some farm fresh eggs, if you want to come out and see who the chickens lay the eggs or where your eggs are coming from, guys, I'm saying just do it. I'm not a big corporation. I don't even know the rules of running a big corporation, right? Like people in big corporations have to hide stuff from y'all. I'm not. I'm like, oh yeah, what what you guys want. What you guys want is what I'll give. Right. So it's definitely been a pleasure. Just I mean, no antibiotics, no hormones, no. I just enjoy eating healthy stuff. All right. Like if you are part of that same journey, if you have that mindset, I'd love to start having the opportunity to sell you some eggs. If I can't sell you some eggs quite yet, that's okay. I want you to just try them anyways. Come by and grab some eggs, grab a couple cartons, and then tell me what it is that I can do better to hopefully make this a sustainable enterprise. And when I'm saying selling eggs, it doesn't even have to be money, guys. Right? Like whatever you can pay with, right? What we need so much. We don't have to capitulate to this system of everything has to be a monetary exchange. You have a wealth of knowledge. You have so much that I can learn from that is worth something. I want to materialize that worth into how we can grow and we can. So, let's figure it out. I think what I learned from the conference here is we can create our own system, right? Like we don't have to depend on the International Monetary Fund. We can what works for you works for me. Let's make that work. We got a bunch of oh my gosh, the bunnies had babies. Well, yeah, the bunnies had babies, so we got some baby bunnies. I don't think they're baby bunnies, are just bunnies, but so yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on at the farm. Unfortunately, we're a little bit behind when it comes to the getting the road ready and getting it ready for people to really start coming out there for the content day. I'm needing to buy a truck, and I'm gonna go over that on the show here in a bit. You guys give me 1 minute. Aaron, is it the same link? Is it Ask Domnat? For me, 10 carton from Mr. Fireball 619. I love that. So Aaron, is it the same link or no? Yeah, it is the same link. Ask Domnat /live. We're gonna go into the give me 1 second here. Throw on Mr. Fire pre-reserved for me 10 cartons. Absolutely, I got you, my brother. And then he's like, I'm gonna finna hand out some samples, and it's real because he's gonna finna do it. If he told me he was going to, I'm like, he ain't gonna do it, but he finna do it. All right, let's talk about it. But guys, all right, so one thing that I do want to go into the Ask Domnat show for the second half is last show I showed you how you can get some contracts for the Philadelphia government. We're actually going to start doing that. I'm going to start in the community just filling out some contracts. Remember, I've made a couple $1 million just doing different projects. And I'll tell you this, I haven't kept a couple $1 million. I've made it. I didn't keep it. It cost me a lot of money to make that money, so I can do a better job. And I haven't spent it on cars and whatever. I've spent it on just trying to grow my business. Some great things, some bad things. I've learned a lot. Now I'm trying to teach you guys what I've learned, and hopefully you guys also take it and just run with it. And let's work together on it. So I'm just going to show you exactly how I made some money. Everything from winning contracts on being maintenance, not me personally, employees, being maintenance for a building in the city, or materials and shirts that they need, food for the city, all of that. So I did go over a little bit of that in the last show. If you guys want to see more of that stuff, I'll go over it. But on today's show, just really quickly, I want to go over how I'm applying for a $30,000 grant. I've made some money with some grants as well for the farm. So when I'm saying, hey, I got 10 cartons of eggs, or I have 10 to 15 cartons of eggs that I'm going to start doing, that's just out of my pocket. But that's not enough to really sustain a farm of our size, right? Like we need to sell hundreds or thousands of eggs. And for that, I'm getting ready to order our meat chickens. They're called broilers. and that's we're going to try to do 1,000 chickens this spring. Again, I'm going to be asking you guys if you are interested in buying some chickens, but that comes with a high cost, and it's not just the cost of the chickens; it's the cost of the enclosure of the chickens and where we keep them and predator protection and all that. We do rotational grazing. So there's a mobile chicken coop that I want to buy, and the trailer, the electric fencing, the netting, all of that costs money. And there is a grant out there. Let me show value added grant. Reload. Hold on 1 second. Let me oh my gosh, hold on. It looks like the value added grant website for the Department of USDA might be down. USDA. I didn't talk to you guys about some hacking that's been going on, but the USDA grant website sounds like it's down. Iran, please don't attack the grant website until I get my funding, please. Jesus, I mean, you people need to understand how important this grant is to me. So, but it's a value added grant. Aaron, let's go over to the Ask Dom now, all exclusive, or the the all exclusive all access Ask Domnat part of the show. I already gave you guys on the regular internet more time than my producers would want. So you guys got to see me at askdomnat.com/live. It is free for the first 100 people. We still got some rooms left. So come on in. If you are 101, please pay at the door. Don't call me asking me for the coupon code. The coupon code was free for the first 100 people. So yeah, so let me show you guys. I'm actually going to show you guys the grant that I'm applying for. I did a whole course on it, so you guys could actually apply for it too. I'm not gatekeeping. I want you to get as much money as possible, and the only thing that would make me happier to get this grant is actually if you got the grant. So let's go to the Ask Domnat All Access side of the show, guys. Give me 5 minutes. I'll see you in there.